Hi, I'm Zachary. This is Chad. We're Baron Walrus. Chad and I have been working together for 14, 15 years on various music projects. We've been in a lot of bands together. Most of them are not very good. And like over the years, we just kind of refined our sound and passing songs back and forth. Hey, I've got a melody. Hey, I've got chords. Let's figure this out and see what happens. And about a year ago, we decided to do an album together in 28 days for something called the RPM Challenge. And it became this kind of whole other thing as we set up, what sounds are we going to use? Let's use glockenspiels and accordions and Game Boys.
Yeah,
and then we wrote a bunch of songs, and blogs started picking up on it and talking about it and saying, hey, check out this new chiptune band. And we were like, okay, we're a chiptune band.
Now, had you had experience using LSDJ or Game Boy?
I've been using LSDJ and Game Boys and other stuff for my whole life because I have a programming background, so I've always been experimenting with new sounds, but I didn't really realize there was an audience for it. Because we would just kind of mess around and send songs back and forth. And then it was, I think, 8 Static in Philadelphia. We heard about it and went, and it was like, wait a second, people really like the kind of stuff we're just messing around with in our bedrooms. And I decided to become a band.
That's pretty much it.
You have a very kind of laid-back sort of vibe to music. Is that typical for the other projects you've done, or is that exclusive to Baron Walrus?
I think it's like starting off with an acoustic background, because the first couple bands we were in were exclusively acoustic. So I think like starting off there and then bringing in the sort of chiptune aspect of it,
We were in a lot of like folk bands, Andean bands, South American music, stuff like that, and we cut our chops on that, and then when we got sick of it, we started bringing in weird sounds, and it evolved into chiptune, but we didn't know what we were doing, and so our sound just kind of like was this amalgam of both of our backgrounds. And Chad's trained in jazz. I'm trained in folk and classical.
Well, it started off classical for me.
Yeah, but we both have classical backgrounds, and then we just kind of started adding stuff until it became our own sound.
The Simon and Garfunkel chip.
Yeah, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah. It's a lot less insulting than what we're normally called. So.
What do you normally call it?
Hey guys, get off the stage.
Why is that? Because it's laid back?
It is. It's very different than a lot of chiptune, because people expect hard-pounding dance music, and they're saying, oh, this is a chip music show, so we're going to dance our asses off, and then we play like very relaxed music. And most people like it. A lot of people are just thrown for a loop and don't know what to think.
Well, now that you have bands like Starscream, that it's pretty much prog at this point, more or less prog chip, I would say. And there's Cheap Dinosaurs, which is very progressive rock element as well.
Yeah, we're huge.
There's definitely an element out there and demand out there for people who are doing stuff different than the normal, electro style.
Yeah, I think that's going to become more and more too. Like, even mainstream, I think it will continue to progress.
Like top 40 chip music type stuff.
Yeah, you can even hear now in some pop music and hip hop music, you can hear that element.
Well, it's like the notion of sound effects are invading modern music. Because we've been raised on like such spastic stuff like Game Boy sounds, and it kind of infiltrates to the point where it's not about the instrument, it's about the texture, and we have all these 8-bit sounds coming in for half a second in a song and building to this overall work. And that hasn't really been done before. That's a new thing within the past 10 years. And pop music is starting to reflect that, where it's more sound effect than it is chords and melody. And for us, it's like, chip music isn't a genre, it's a kind of style of working. Like there's piano music, and there's guitar music, and then there's chip music. And and we happen to use a Nintendo and Game Boys and stuff, but there's no way to lump in all the people who do this kind of stuff into one genre and know what to expect, which is the best part. Because you will go to a chip show and you could hear bands like us, bands like Starscream, or then you have Trey Frey, who's completely different but exciting and overwhelming.
Now, do you write everything on a sequencer, or do you write it out as a band first, like classically, and then add in the 283 into that?
We kind of trade back and forth.
Each song is completely different.
Yeah.
I always, since I play the keyboard, it starts off me just like playing the keyboard. And then, but like, if he starts a song off, it might be completely different in sequence. And it's really like the back and forth process.
Yeah, like we talk out like everything. So it may be like, well, this is terrible, you know, here's a good part, and then we'll just work it out through emails and stuff until we have something that we like. And neither of us live in the same city, so it's kind of difficult, but the internet has made things blissful.